so much about what a brand and what personal branding is all about. We have learned a lot from our panelists, a lot from our guest speaker, and quite a lot from each other. We will run a few polls or a few questions so that we can share conversations with each other. Please make use of the chat icon so that we can have conversations about this topic and get to learn and get to build each other. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce our partner, Women in Business. I wish to introduce Madam Mary Muthoni. And if I were to begin talking about Madam Mary Muthoni, there is a lot that I can say about her. There is quite a lot. She's an entrepreneur. She is a woman of many fasts, a lot of fasts. She is not just a woman of many fasts. She is a trainer. She is a woman that has played a great role in education. So I know that she's a trainer, and I know that she's in the education sector. And I know that she has done a great job putting together women that are in business. I am proud as a citizen of Kirinyaga County. I am very proud that Mary Muthoni here is also the vice chair of the Kirinyaga Investment and Development Authority. I'm actually very proud to have Mary Muthoni with us. So I'm going to invite Mary Muthoni, whose association CPF has worked together since last year. We have a working relationship with Women in Business, and we are really very happy that this partnership is going to grow each one of us, grow our institution at CPF and grow the women in business. Karibu sana, Madam Mary. Mary Muthoni.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rosemary. We are almost making this a Kirinyaga affair. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to welcome you today to this forum, Women in Business and CPF Africa. Over the past 1 year, we have partnered with many entities, many corporate entities, simply to ensure that we reach to the woman on the ground, we reach to the woman at the top, we reach to the SME, we reach to every other woman and enable them, ensure that we give them the skills that they require to run their businesses. Remember, we are coming from a very tough time, that is COVID-19, and we are still not out of bounds in that. So we really need to push and to give the very best of our efforts so that our businesses are staying afloat. One of the things that I will tell you is Women in Business was formed on one front to ensure that women are accessing to information, women are accessing to financing, women are accessing to partnership, women are accessing to markets. And during COVID, we have been able to push to ensure that we have partnered with many entities so that we reach to our goal. For any woman in business, branding aside, one of the key things that you must be able to do is to impact. That idea that comes to your mind, really very sure that one of the things that you want to do is to impact. Either you're impacting on society, impacting on yourself, impacting on your family, impacting on the people who look up to you or people who are around you. Now, when you create a business at any one time, it is either you're touching a life or you're improving your own. And that is where Women in Business stands. The second thing is sustainability. During COVID, we realized that many of women businesses were going down. And remember, 17 million Kenyans are SMEs today in this country. And out of that 17 million Kenyans, you'll find that 80% of that could be women, young girls, young women, young mothers, women who have simply just joined business. And at the end of the day, at the end of their third birthday of starting their businesses, you find that they are now collapsing. Why? Sometimes we also lack skills to run these businesses. Sometimes we lack the requisite, the requisite documentation, the most important things to run our businesses. And until we accept this, so that we can be taught, so that we can be trained by people like CPF Africa, so that we can listen to people like our dear guests today, who have been there, who know what it takes to be a brand, then we may be going round in circles and dropping on our guns. So sustainability in our businesses is very, very critical. And also visibility. Many a times I have seen very many women who have started immensely, big things. They are selling handbags, they are selling timber, they are selling houses. But at the end of the day, you find that nobody knows about you. Why? Because we don't talk about it. You don't have to run or to stand on top of a tree to ensure that people know you. Branding, it will talk for itself. When a brand can sell, you don't need to be there to say, I am the one who runs St. Petro Premier School. It will just sell. And that is what we want women businesses to be like. That you can set up a business and go on to set up the second branch without necessarily opening your mouth to say so. So I would be very excited that at the end of this session, we will feel that our businesses have the impact it takes. They have the sustainability that is required. And at the end of the day, you have the visibility. Let the mainstream media be looking for you because they want to speak to you. And that will happen if you join hands with other women, if you join women in business to ensure that you're near where the action is taking place. I always say, wake up, dress up, and show up. And finally, I want to take this opportunity to thank CPF Africa, because since we started this journey together, working together, we have already come up with a product called a women product for pension, which is going to help women, called the Ladybug. It is going to help women when your partner dies or when your loved ones have departed this world, you're able to bury them without a lot of hullabaloo. So this is to you. Maybe the CEO will be here later to explain to you what Ladybug is all about. The other day, I lost a relative. And the first thing that we thought about was to go to a WhatsApp group so that we can start fundraising. It's the norm in Kenya. But what if with as little as 1,000 shillings, 700 shillings, you can be able to save for that danger that could be ahead of you? So these are some of the small things, small leaps that we have been able to achieve. And not forgetting the trainings that we have been able to take women through under the leadership of Rosemary Maina. So I am really happy and thank you so much. And today, I'm also proud to speak in front of my sister, my friend, and my boss, the PS, Mary Kimonye, MBS. I know she's a lady of many faces in terms of branding. She has run many organizations in this country. She was in charge of Brand Kenya when Brand Kenya used to be Brand Kenya, and she was able to spear that organization in a very smooth way, in a very professional way. And now being the PS, one of the PSs in this country who are running who are running the government of His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta from behind the scenes. You may never see her in front of the TV every other day, but she is one of those who is doing amazing jobs. I am sure the person who is going to introduce her is going to give us her profile in details. I am privileged to be with you, Madam, and I thank you that you accepted to come and speak to the women today. Over to you, Rosemary. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you so very much, Mary. Thank you so very much. And yes, you're right. It appears like a Kirinyaga function. I think in Kirinyaga, we have really tough women. Thank you so very much, Mary. And we truly thank you for the partnership that we have with CPF. And I truly believe that together we can do more. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our time has come when we need to meet our guest speaker. Our guest speaker, Mary, attempted to introduce her. She is a remarkable lady. She is a trainer and a consultant. She has also served as a university lecturer and at one point as a faculty advisor for students in free enterprise. Our guest has served as a technical advisor at the Public Sector Reform Secretariat. And with that, she was instrumental in the implementation of the results-based management in the government of Kenya. She served as the founder, CEO of the brand Kenya. And I agree with Mary, that is when everybody knew brand Kenya. She was the founder, CEO of the brand Kenya board, and she also sits on several boards. She has won very many marketing and training awards. If we were to mention all of them, I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, would be here for a very, very long time. She is not just a corporate executive, she is a renowned marketer and a branding guru. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming our guest speaker, the Principal Secretary, State Department for Public Service in the Ministry of Public Service, Gender, Senior Citizen Affairs, and Special Programs, Mrs. Mary Kimonye, Moran of the Burning Spear. Karibu sana. Mary, I went to Ngiriambu High School, so I know. Karibu sana. Karibu sana sana.
Thank you very much, Rosemary and Mary, for that introduction. For a moment, I thought you were introducing another woman and not me. But that be as it may, we are here. Only a short introduction of what you don't know about me. I am a wife and a mother of 4 and a grandmother to 2. Very beautiful young man with 7 months and a little girl with 2 years. A daughter of peasant farmers somewhere in the villages of Kirinyaga, but currently residing in Meru, where I got married. I love the Lord. I serve as an elder at the Lavington United Church. And currently, by God's grace, His Excellency appointed me as the PS for Public Service, where I have the responsibility of managing the human resource in the public service and developing principles and values for the public service, as well as policies that shape the public service, so that public servants can be able to serve the office with dignity and with honor that is due to our citizens of Kenya. I'm not a government officer, I am a public servant, because there is a difference. And my lifelong duty is to ensure that as I leave the service for the short time I'm going to serve, I'm going to leave the service more dignified and better and more citizen-centric. So that is me. And I'm very, very happy to join you today. Rosemary, congratulations for the work you're doing with the CPF group, and also for reminding me where I detoured after I finished my Form 6, trying to hone my public speaking at your high school. I guess you are a student there then. It's many years ago. And also Mary Muthoni, my younger sister, who is almost my mentee on many fronts. Thank you for allowing me, Mary, into your life and into your business to just work along with you and the Kenyan women. So this morning, I was asked to speak about branding, something I'm very passionate about, something I taught at the University of Nairobi while I was teaching there, and I taught in the University of Nairobi, the School of Business, marketing. That's how I became a trainer of the year under the CIM. But today we are speaking about branding. And Mary, I think I got the topic wrong. I thought I was only going to be speaking about personal branding. But what we can do, we can talk about personal branding and then extrapolate it to business branding. They are one and the same anyway. So let's go straight to the topic of the day. And I guess that is what you want, Mary, isn't it?
Sure, ma'am.
Okay, speaking about branding, let me ask a few questions. This morning, if I came to you and told you that I'm going to have tea in Kenya with the MD, which MD would that be? You can write that question and ask which MD would that possibly be? Would you be able to pick out maybe 5 outstanding MDs in Kenya and tell me you possibly would be having tea with James Mwangi or Waigara? I don't know. Who would those MDs be? But if I asked you, today I'm going to have, our president is going to have tea with the Queen, which Queen would that be? And I want answers, people. I want us to have a conversation. Which Queen would that be? Queen of which country? Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, somebody I said, why Queen Elizabeth? She's not the only queen in the world. Netherlands has a queen. Spain, I think, has a queen. Even Thailand has a queen. But all of you are saying Queen Elizabeth of England, Great Britain. And somebody is telling me that she is the most famous, she is the most visible, she is the most consistent. Here in her entire life, she has never done anything out of the step of definition of what a queen should be. If she's supposed to be in church, she's in church. If she's supposed to eat breakfast at a particular time, she does that. When she's supposed to do whatever she's supposed to do, the words that she uses, yeah, the image that she projects. For the CEO, people are saying James Mwangi. Everybody is throwing me something here on the side joke. James Mwangi. Why? Why? What is it about these individuals that makes them stand out? So branding. For me, branding is a few defining words. Deliberate. It is deliberate, it is purposeful, and well-planned process or approach of distilling. The word there is to distill. You know what the word distilling means? You distill when you want to get the finest. Yeah, like you are trying to get the cream, and then you end up with creme de creme, okay? Approach, it is an approach to distill, define. You distill, then you define. You create and then package a self-identity and image. Self-identity and image. Note I am using identity and image because those are the two aspects of a brand. You have a brand identity and you have a brand image. When you put them together, then that is a brand. So an image and identity that is compelling. Now, let me start with the word authentic. It is authentic. It is not fake. You are not pretending. No, you are not creating a story. No, it's something that can be tested. And when it is tested, it is found to be true. Like, you can test butter after it has been distilled from milk. You can test things after you have distilled and they'll be found to be true. It is compelling. Compelling means you cannot ignore it. It is there. It is not, it is, yeah, it can be ignored. 3, believable. It can be trusted. You can live your promises. We get what we see. When you say something, you keep your word. Sustainable. It is here today, tomorrow, and forever. Coca-Cola, Starbucks, okay? Relevant. Mary Muthoni talked about impact, that there's a difference it makes. It has impact. And then it is visible. It is visible, it is differentiable. So let me tell you, if you are branding, you must identify your differentiators. What is it about you that is different from everybody? Remember, people, we are living in this forest called the world. Everybody has a degree. Everybody a master's. Everybody has a PhD. Everybody can access Google. They can access the internet. What makes you different? What makes you unique? So this is the purpose, the process of distilling who you are. So what is identity then? Identity is internal. Who you believe you are, who you think, what you think you stand for, what defines you different from somebody else, what is your true self. So an identity is a very clear concept and appreciation of who you are, complete with an honest list of your defining characteristics, the positive ones, also known as your brand assets, your weaknesses, and be very true with yourself. If you're not a good public speaker, don't pretend to be. You'll go there to say, your weaknesses, those are brand liabilities. Your aspirations, your beliefs, your attitudes, your negotiables and non-negotiables. Every strong brand has what in my language I call non-negotiables. Something which will remain, it will not break, you will not change it, whatever happens. Not fair weather, all weather. And your preferred journey and course in life. How did Mother Teresa define herself to become a very compelling brand? She took a course, did it, remained on it, and was consistent. She never stepped. So when you brand, one thing, one warning, you cannot be all things to all people. You cannot be all things to all people. You can't be the best teacher and the best farmer and the best speaker and the best marketer and the best accountant. No, 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 no. Even the Bible says, don't choose too many things to do because you'll not complete them and you'll not be able to run away from them. So you become a nuisance, actually. So for me, I never touch accountancy. I never touch these things Rosemary was talking about investments, and because I do not know, and I don't want to look at, to touch things I don't know, things I can't present. But present me with the marketing class, and I will take it with my eyes closed. Present with a branding class, and I will take it because I have honed my skills in that area. Image. Remember the two aspects of a brand, image and identity. Image is external. What others see, think, and perceive you to be. This is perception. It may not be real, but image is everything, like Rosemary said. What people think about you is who you are. How do people get this image? Image is based on how you have projected yourself to the world, either through your actions or non-actions, your communication, verbal and otherwise, your choices in life, the places you visit, the people you associate with, your achievements, your courses in life. What course? You know, you can take a course, and we have seen people who have made money, making money their course. There are others who have made controversy their cause. We have a very strong brand in Kenya called Omtata. And everybody knows, if you have a case, you know, Omtata is likely to go to court. That's a brand. He has branded himself that way. We have the Sonkos. They have branded themselves in a manner. Now we know them. If you mention the word Sonko, then people will tell you, you are likely to be on social media. You are likely to be recorded, etc., etc. So when your name is mentioned, what associations come to you? That is your image. When people say Kimonye, then how is the story finished? Like, for example, how we have managed to project ourselves as Africa. Our identity as Africa is a country that has all the wealth of the world. All the minerals are here. The young population is in Africa. The good climates are in Africa. But what is the image of Africa in the international media? Civil war, child soldiers, hunger, corruption. Are all these stories true? No, some of them are not true. But that is our story. It is the way it is being told. So who is telling your story? Your story could be told by your neighbor because of what you have done. Your story is being told by your children. Your story is being told by your workers. Define your story and tell your story the way you want your story to be told. But as you tell that story, make sure that that story is authentic. It is based on an identity that is believable, that is true, that is authentic, that is sustainable. So when you put those two together, then you come with a brand. So we know what a strong brand is. After you have done all that, then you have to clothe your brand with what we know as brand identity. The outer part of your brand, what people see. Yeah, what people see. For example, the Kimonye Afro, which I've kept since I was in Form 1, or the Janet Museveni haircut, or Rogo Maduri hair gear, God rest her soul in eternal peace. Kauda suit, yeah. Put others on the screen, people. We are having a conversation. People who have an outer, when you see that outfit passing, when you see that color passing, then you know who that is. Yeah, Mandela's shirt. Yes. What many things. We have girls in Kenya called socialites. I identify them by their color. I mean, the Jojo suit, yes, the 3-piece. Charles Jojo suit in Kenya. Remember President Daniel Arap Moi, the way his image was compelling with that Fimbo ya Nyayo and this rose flower on his suit. So that is the brand. When you do not speak, yeah, Fimbo ya Moi, I can see that. So that packaging for a product, for example, is what we call the silent salesperson. When you go home, when the salesperson goes home, then what is left speaking is the brand package, the colors, the logo, the taglines on your package, the information around that package. And so you have that outer branding. So you can demonstrate it through color, through apparel. Yeah, Mobutu Sese Seko's signature hats. Yeah, people, this is a conversation we are having with people. Your style, your poise. We even have people who have a walking style. The choice of products like, cards, words that you use, places that you frequent. We even have people when they speak, that phrase was from so-and-so. That style can only be so-and-so style. Are you known for something? What are you known for? Are you a compelling brand? Now we are talking about removing yourself from the forest. What kind of tree are you? So that we don't say, this is a forest of trees. Are you a mugumo tree? Are you a cider tree? What kind of tree are you? How have you defined yourself so that you stand out? And when you stand out, people are able to pick you, so that in a forest of teachers, people can say Teacher Wanjiko. In a forest of lecturers, people can say Lecturer Muthoni. In a forest of CEOs, people can say James Mwangi. In a forest of presidents, people can say His Excellency President Kenyatta, who has, for example, defined himself as a statesman in Africa. That is his image out there. Forget about how you do him here in Kenya. But out there, a statesman who stands for certain things, like the commitment to the youth agenda, commitment to climate change, commitment to FGM, eliminating FGM. So how have you projected yourself? So branding, the essence of branding is to differentiate yourself, so that if people are looking for the best fundi, they come for you. If they are looking for the best company, they come for you, because you have differentiated yourself and you have told your story in a manner that is believable. You become an authentic brand. When you project your brand liabilities, you end up with a weak brand, your weaknesses. When your image and identity conflict, then you become a very confused or confusing brand. We don't know what you stand for. And you'll hear people saying, we are hatumjui vizuri, ukiita huyo hatujui, we are not sure. If she's coming to speak, we don't know the quality of the talk that we are going to have. People cannot tell who you really are or what you stand for. Mara, you are here, Mara, you are there. When tall people are told to stand, you stand. When speakers are told to speak, to stand, you stand. When rich people are told to stand, you stand. The poor people, you are there. Exactly, who are you? Who are you? Okay, when you consciously take time and effort to extract a brand from your image and identity, then you create what we call a brand essence or a sweet spot. I like to call it a sweet spot. You are known for something. Starbucks known for the finest coffee. Also Kenya known for the growth of organic products like our cut flowers in the world market. We are known for the athletes. A sweet spot about our country. Something that is so attractive. Something that is so compelling. People want to be associated with it. Something which those who know French says, je ne sais pas quoi. I don't know. I can't quite define it, but there's something about this woman. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it is so positive, it's so compelling, it is so attractive. That is your essence. And when the world has a brand essence about you, which is that compelling, then you become very attractive. You start to attract resources to yourself. You have soft power. You have soft power. You don't have to speak. You just see resources coming to you, people coming to you, networks happening for you. You are signing deals. Your product is finding shelf space in supermarket and etc. and this etc. So a strong brand, as that known sweet spot, it is differentiable. It stands out. It is visible. It attracts. It is identifiable. You can't miss it. And then it speaks. It speaks. A strong brand speaks. And that strong brand then has a very strong package. And people sometimes, companies, if I go to companies, they have a phrase. Yeah, they have a phrase which we call a brand tagline. A tagline. For me, I call it a war cry. What does Coca-Cola say? Yeah. What does KCB say about itself? And Cooperative Bank, what are the taglines that you know in Kenya? This is a conversation, yeah, for various companies. Rosemary, what is the tagline for CPF Group? Which I'm hearing about for the first time today.
Fulfilling lives.
Fulfilling lives. Yeah. Have you projected it enough? Have you communicated it enough? Coca-Cola, taste the difference. We are you. Who says we are you? Cooperative Bank, here for good. Standard, here for good. KCB, go ahead. Yeah. Safaricom, the color green. The color green is enough. You see that green, you say Safaricom. Tusker, those Tuskers, you see them, you know, this is Tusker. Veerman, get the best. Yes. Color, phrase, shape, Apple. Who misses the brand logo for Apple? On which insurance agent say, you mention, we deliver. You own it. DataSec, data integrity. If I'm hearing for something for the first time here, and I'm very passionate about branding, there is work to be done. Okay? And so that we can be true, we can be authentic, we can start projecting ourselves. Then you have a name. A name is part of the brand. Apple, Safaricom, Airtel, what else? Mother Teresa, Bill Gates. Yeah. Even a song. Somebody is putting a song on TV. Some have a jingle which they play and you understand it. So are we continuing with that? And that sounds like Christmas. Somebody needs to mute something. Please mute your music. Okay. So a strong brand attracts people. It attracts resources. It attracts attention. It attracts network. And all this, we can sum them up into something that becomes almost mystic about yourself. And you hear people say, I cannot explain what is about this product, about Coca-Cola, but I like it. When I need to eat nyama, I go to that joint, okay? This could be what we call in everyday language, the soft power. That is what I have said. Now, you have a strong personal brand when you know your place in the world. If you have chosen a career, you know your place in that career. You have carved a space for yourself that is different from everybody else. You have the presence of mind as an individual to know when to speak and when not to speak, and to whom to speak and whom not to speak. Because whatever you say then becomes associated with you. It becomes your image. You even the presence of mind to know what to wear and what not to wear. I'd be very shocked, Rosemary, if I met you in the streets with a cropped top. Yeah, with a bit of your tummy exposed. But I would be fine with your daughter. Yeah, she's youth. But I would be shocked if you did that. I'd be very shocked to find you walking the streets of Nairobi with a micro mini. You can wear a mini, I have no problem. But you see, you have a clear and consistent list of your non-negotiables. Yeah? For example, you say if you're dealing with the businesses, I will never write a bouncing check. That is a non-negotiable for me. What are your non-negotiables? You need to define them yourself. I cannot be caught doing this. Come rain, come shine. A strong brand has to have non-negotiables. A strong, you know how to say no. Somebody told me a strong brand knows how to take somebody to hell and make them look forward to going to hell. Yeah. So I want to take you to hell, but you'll be looking forward to go to hell. You take on assignments which you have the skills to complete. If you are a strong person of brand, you don't say I can do when you cannot do. You take on assignments. You have your competences, you have honed them, you have gone to the best of your career or in your field, and you have packaged those competencies very, very well. You are not just known as an accountant. Maybe you have not to be expertise in law or tax accountancy. I do not know. You are true to self. You project your true, authentic self. You are consistent in your brand packaging. So that makes for a very, very strong personal brand. So those are the building blocks. Can you project this to products? Yes, you can project this to products, and you can have a product with a product identity, a product with a product image. You can also have a business which has a business name, a business identity, a business image. Just as I conclude, steps, just few steps. First, clarify your identity. Know what you want to be known for, what you want to stand for, and define this identity around your principles, around your key characteristics, Then define the market where you want to operate, your target audience. If you want to be a consultant, in which area do you want to be a consultant? And in that area you have defined, understand the competition so well, so that you can be able to know how you will differentiate yourself from what is already existing in that market. If you do what everybody else is doing, then you are not a brand. You just become a product. Structure yourself around your selected identity, and then communicate consistently. Mary, I do not have, I don't know how many minutes you wanted me to speak, but let me conclude by saying this.
You have about another 20 minutes.
Okay, a good brand.
And then we'll take questions.
Yes, I'll finish.
You're the guest.
Yes, yes, I am conscious. I will take less than 20 minutes. A good brand is visible. It has visibility. It stands out, you cannot ignore it. It is identifiable by very consistent brand assets. And I talked about the symbols, the logos, the taglines, the colors, even the taste. And we have hotels which have differentiated themselves through taste. Then we have, it has emotional connection with its audience. Somebody is willing to die for it. Yeah, I remember when I was teaching marketing earlier in, I think it was around 20, I can't remember the year correctly, but Imperial Leather Soap tried to change its soap from the ivory color to white. And I remember hearing that their sales dipped because people had developed an emotional connection with the ivory soap. It had stopped being owned by the company. It was now owned by the market. And they have individuals who are no longer owned by themselves, but they are owned by the people. So that should you change, then you find people are not happy. Yeah, so that emotional connection with your market is very important. So then the brand lives in the hearts and minds of people. A good brand lives in the hearts and minds of people. People hold it dear, they remember it, they are able to defend it. Finally, if you are a business and you are offering quite a number of products, then for each of your products, it's important that you have a brand proposition that speaks to the mother brand. For example, when we were doing branding for Kenya, we wanted to define our soft spot or sweet spot, like I said, our brand essence. We did a tourism poll, we talked to tourists, we talked to investors, we talked to Kenyans themselves. And what stood out about our country, besides our brand assets, the flowers, the athletes, all those brand assets, and there are many, the climate, the coast, the mountains, etc. Everybody said the one thing that stands out when they visit Kenya is the hospitality and the warmth of the people. So the word that came to our mind was generosity. So we came up with this phrase for Brand Kenya, bursting with generosity. And now that bursting with generosity had to be projected in the brand logo that we did. So we asked people what symbol represents Kenya. They said the shield. Then 75% of Kenya is youth. So we identified youth as a critical mass. And we asked the youth, and most of the youth said they find the shield too stiff. They found the axis and the cox and everything a bit too traditional. So what we did, we relieved the shield of all those traditional symbols. And we were left with a brand symbol, which represents the shield, but which does not have those very hard symbols on them. And the youth said, this one resonates with us. Remember, I said, make sure you know your audience, who are the majority, who are going to interact with your brand. Then we had a proposition for each. For the diaspora, we said Kenya, a place to call home, and a place I love, willing to call home and willing to return. What we wanted is for the diaspora to start bringing money back home. And they started, and we saw enormous money start to come. Because we said Kenya is a proud place and I'm willing to return. For the tourists, we talked about magical Kenya, and we talked about modernity covered with our heritage, combining modernity with our heritage. For our products like coffee, we talked about grown under the sun, organic, grown. And when we all put all that together, then we said, when you want to make a choice to live, visit, or invest, your choice will be Kenya. Always make it Kenya. And we ended up with that little make it Kenya phrase. Remember, it is a process of distillation. You distill until you come up with the finest, what is completely true for yourself. Okay. So I can see questions going on on the chat group. Mary, I would like to conclude, and probably because I've spoken a lot, allow the audience to say something. Number one, I don't like questions. What I like are proposals to enrich the discussion, because I appreciate that the people I'm speaking to have a story to tell. They are experts in their area, and it is important when people share what they think. So what I've done is giving a building block, like a framework, and we can fill it through a discussion. And then after that, you allow me to go because I have an extremely busy office. I'll not be able to be with you up to 12 noon. So thank you very much, people, for allowing me to throw my thoughts around this. They are not the best. They are not comprehensive. They are not exhaustive. They are just thoughts to help us discuss this topic of branding. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so very much. And on behalf of all the participants, allow me to clap because they're not able to do so. So much has been said, and I believe that a lot of us have taken notes. I have taken a lot of notes. I will need to sit down and be able to package them so that anybody else can understand what I was saying. And from the conversations we have had the last about 1 hour, we have had a lot of things. I don't know if you heard what I had about a brand being a situation where you distill to find the very best of who you are, and that you need to define who you are, what you want to stand for. And you need to, once you have done all that, you create that and package that. So you package yourself to present yourself outside there. That is what I had. And besides that, I also had that brand that you have packaged and put out there has got to be believable. It's got to be trusted. So that when you take the Java coffee today, when you take it tomorrow and the day after, the taste should be consistent. The taste should be so consistent, so much so that whether you're doing Java in Nairobi or you're doing Java in Tutapata Moja Kirogoya, whether you're doing Java in Nairobi or Mombasa or Kirogoya or wherever, Java is Java coffee. That is what I have had. So that when you have done that, you need to package that and remain relevant to your course. Remain relevant to your course. I also heard that there is the image that you have projected outside there, what people think about you. And allow me, Madam Pierce, at this point on the image, I will ask a question, much as you don't like them. I will ask a question on the image about who you have projected yourself to be outside there. Who do people think you are from your own words and from perhaps your actions? Who do people think you are? And when there is a collision, then what should we do? We will get to ask that question. The other thing I have heard from that conversation, which was very, very, very enriching, is that when you create a brand identity, I love this. And I truly hope the salespeople are listening. That becomes the silent salesperson who sells in your absence. The silent salesperson who will be selling in your absence. And that when you have a strong brand, your brand will have an essence. Those of us that bake, we know the vanilla essence, the oranges and so on, you know that thing that, that makes your cake taste the way it does. So it is the sweetness, you called it the sweet spot. I really love that, the sweet spot. Something about your brand, your person, your institution, what does it stand for? I think I love that. Now to my question before I read the results from the poll, we are running polls and we can see results. Before I get to that result of the polls, there is a question, there is a statement that you made, Madam, about His Excellency being a statesman, and we are not asking this question specifically about the president. We are asking about the brand image that people have and who you actually are. And this is how it came out, that he has projected an image of a statesman and not what we see him as in Kenya. And my question is, would that be considered negative, or what is it that someone needs to know so that you have a consistent image? What I think I am, what people think I am is exactly who I am. That is my question. I'm sure we'll be seeing a few other questions here, which I will read out. We will take a few of your minutes so that we can read out those questions if you do not mind. Perhaps you can take that, then I can respond to the answers to the polls. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Remember, I talked about identity and image. And I said, your image is what people want to define you as, which it may be true or false. And people may want to define you in a certain manner, okay? So what we have here in our country, most of the brands are projected through the media, okay? And as you know, in our media, the person who gets the biggest criticism, for example, is the one who owns the country or let me say not owns, our leaders. For example, our government gets a lot of bashing. You hear government people are corrupt, government people are thieves, But are all government people thieves? No. That government is losing a lot of money. Then when you look at what is true, like the identity now, forget about the image which is being projected. The hospitals are running, the education sector, agriculture money is being put there. Then we know when you go to the statistician, they tell you that we are only losing close just to about 0.03% of our GDP to corrupt people. They are there. But are you seeing now the image of the country is that of corruption? So this is what I'm saying. What people don't do enough is to tell their own story, because telling your story sometimes looks almost like pride. So you leave that story to be told to people. But I think it is important. Now, what I'm saying here is that internally, we do not have an appreciation. We have not developed, cultivated the willingness to have an appreciation of who we are as a country. I'm talking now from a country perspective, including our president there. People have not created an appreciation of how good we are, the leaders we have, how committed they are to causes. But that has been able to be picked by other people outside there, and they are celebrating us. Kenya is one of the most celebrated countries globally. That is why you see we attract a lot of corporate headquarters, international headquarters. But if you talk to a Kenyan in the street, what country to buri, to a government buri. So there's that talk that goes on, and that is my issue. It is about our audience. We have not cultivated that appreciation, and it worries me. And this is how I spent my time in Brad, Kenya, trying to tell people, please look internally and see what a good country, what a good leaders we have, but appreciating at the same time that we have corrupt people. Yeah, and we have people who are not good, but also looking at what the bigger picture for us is as a country, so that we do not get drilled in achieving the objectives that we want to achieve. So that's number one. The other question, you had two questions. Rosemary, you talked very fast. What was your second question?
It was only one question. It was only one question. Yes.
Who people think you are, isn't it?
Yes, and I think you've done it so well. And I'm thinking that for purposes of this conversation, even as an individual, people will want to brand you. Absolutely. Even as a business, people will want to brand you. So if we remain consistent, that is what Madam Kimonye has said, if we remain consistent, then our real brand will eventually come out. Most important is to trudge on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. So that with your identity, with them, don't mind what people are saying. Always do the right thing.
Especially considering your non-negotiables, considering that, I'm very excited about that. So we had a question, Madam, not a question really, but we were running a poll and we asked people here, and perhaps using the chat, they can give us some conversations about what they think is the problem. Our poll question was, how happy are you with your personal brand? That was our question. How happy are you with your personal brand? 20% of us here, a very good number, 20% are very happy. 33% are somewhat happy. 39% are neutral, while 6% are somewhat unhappy, and 2% are very unhappy. Those are the results of the poll. That how happy are you with your personal brand? 20% very happy, 33% somewhat happy, 39%, that's quite high, neutral, and 6% somewhat unhappy, 2% very unhappy. Perhaps then this brings a conversation. especially the 39%, what is it that needs to be done? What is it, given what we have learned today, what is it that we think we can begin doing in order to make us very happy with our personal brand? Perhaps as we wait for Madam Mary Kimonye to help us with that, we can type some answers there, especially given the 39% that are neutral. 20% are very happy, which is a good thing. 33% are somewhat happy. 39% are neutral, 6% somewhat unhappy, 2% very unhappy. What do you think we can begin doing? What can we begin doing? Let's use the chart. Is Mary back?
Yes,
Madam Kimonye?
Yes, I am back. I got a bit of yesterday I visited my ENT, and you need to there's nothing I could do because I speak a lot. I was put on voice rest. So if for 14 days I am not supposed to speak, but I have committed to this program. So I told the doctor to allow me to speak today. I don't know how I would not speak for 14 days. But let's go to these people who are unhappy with their personal brand. Basically, what you are telling me is that you have no brand at all. Yeah, you have not defined what you want to be known for. I can share my personal journey of branding. First thing, you need to go on a brand building journey. And you need to choose 1 or 2 things you need to be known for in your field. When I did my field, I said, I want to be one of the best trainers in Kenya. So I did not choose research. And I know my colleagues who are very good researchers in marketing. I want to be the best trainer. And I went on that. And the first time I trained for CIM, I became the trainer of the year. The second year I trained, I became trainer of the year. So choose where you want to excel. You cannot be all things to all people. Once you have chosen that, define now these non-negotiables. And I say, I will not study in a class unless I'm fully prepared with this topic. And what kind of classes will I take? I'll take this type of class and this. And these are classes with impact. Then put yourself out there. How I got into government. I volunteered in government for 3 months, once upon a time without pay. And the reward I got is I was appointed CEO of Brand Kenya, because government had work that needed to be done in the area of branding. And because I was sitting at the University of Nairobi and I had time, I decided to do it, just almost for fun. But the end result was that I got a job. I volunteered again on a job where UNDP was sponsoring. At the end of the 3 months, I got a job with UNDP, a consultancy. So put yourself out there and put yourself in the right platforms. If you really want to be a corporate consultant, you could meet people in a bar, yes, but that is not where you go to talk about your skills. Find out where these people, we say in marketing, go to school with the learners. Find out where these corporates go and go there. Maybe you will even start playing golf. I don't know. But you need to define, where is it, do I find this audience I want to project myself on? Then be consistent, understand your brand identity, understand your brand assets and your brand liabilities. What are you weak in? If you know that the area you want to excel in includes a bit of writing, and you're not good in writing, start to hone that skill. Start to develop that skill. If the area you want to excel in requires you to speak in public, go for public speaking. If it requires PR, just understand the PR and diplomacy, so that when you are in that field, then you look good. And then your brand strengths. What are you strong in? I know people who have made money by fixing pipes. I have a nephew who has become a brand company in killing termites. So he's the one who kills termites in state house. He's the one who kills termites in big people's homes. If anybody wants their termites killed, they call him. And he is making very good money. So you can excel in any field, but those things we talked about, consistency, truthfulness, etc., need to be there. If Mary, you have chosen to be in women in business, don't start jumping to women in athletics and women in, I don't know where. Just stick there, be consistent. Finally, the chicken will come home to roost and you'll be known for who you are and for what you stand for. If you've chosen research, be the best researcher. If you've chosen teaching, be the best teacher. But don't be the teacher and also let me tell you people, I am a very good cook. And I can also clean a room sparkling. But would that be the best way to spend my time? After getting an MBA and all this international exposure, why am I going to compete with my house help on cleaning? I don't want to be known for that, but I can clean very well, by the way. I drive my car very well. If I drove you to Thika, you'd think you're moving in a very big machine. I know how to drive, but do I want to be known for driving? No. I am a very good cook. I bake, I make cakes, but do I want to be known as the cake maker? No, thank you. Rosemary, I think I've answered you.
Wow, thank you so very, very much. Thank you.
I'm loving this, Rosemary. I am loving this.
Yes, Mary, please say something. Mary Muthoni, say something.
No, let me tell you, I think PS is one of those ladies I admire, and I know she knows, and those people I respect, because even my first meeting with the PS, when she was the CEO brand Kenya, she was not in a micro mini to attract attention. She was in a very long skirt. You know, what I want to say is when you work in silence, your work speaks for you and you build on your brand. I think that is my statement.
Awesome. And I'm seeing here that the list of admirers is growing. The list of admirers is growing. And yes, you're amazing, a great trainer and great insights, quite amazing. Yes.
Thank you very much for all the comments. I'm not typing. I would like to tell everybody thank you. I can read them. But people, thank you very much for those comments. I am humbled.
Thank you so very, very much. I wish we had more time. And people, you will confirm. Should we bring her back very soon? Because I'm sure we needed much more time than this, when you're not constrained, when you can speak without the doctor looking at you. Yeah, I think, yes, they have seen, yes, please. Oh, yes. We will have you back. We'll have you back for slightly much longer so that we can spend a bit more time to enable us package ourselves so that even as we walk, everybody can see and everybody can tell. Yenyewe Rosemary was here. Rosemary has just passed. Rosemary has been here. The kind of work that you do, everybody can tell that this has Rosemary's hands have touched this work. You know, and I believe that is what you have been teaching us this morning. Any other final comments before we call it a day? Organize a physical one. Nimeambiwa Madam PS that I need to organize
Brannes Meridungo, I see you. Margaret Ketonga, my student, Charity Njoka, all of you. I see all of you. Thank you. Hello, am I on?
Great.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think, Rosemary, you can tell them that we shall organize a physical one with the PS. Maybe late this year or early next year. I think that will bring more personalized effect. I know most women are craving for physical meetings right now. I know we have our end of year, but she had mentioned that she is not available. But if in case she changes, we will tell you that she will be coming on the 17th of December when we have our end of year party for the women in business. But for now, we just promise we will sweet talk her. She's busy, by the way. For us to get this slot, my friend, she's a busy woman. She's not an idler. So don't think she just woke up one day and she said, I'm attending that meeting. It was a task too. So we will try once we sweet talk her and she says she's available at that particular time, we can organize for a physical meeting.
Thank you very much, Mary, and especially if she will have adhered to the doctor's instructions, because again, we do not want to mess her wonderful voice. We want to maintain that voice. So let's see if she's available. And because many of us may not be able to attend the end of year party on the 17th, how about we put together an event where we can meet early next year? Because then I'm sure she will have relaxed and her voice will have relaxed, so that then we can have this wonderful conversation. Any other final comments? Perhaps Madam Kimonye, final comments?
Yes, I can see two of your participants have raised their hands, but I want to tell all the people who have side chat, I have seen each one of you. I have read each of your comments by name. Sheila, Janet, Anne, Carol, all those whom I have not even mentioned. And I want to thank you very, very much. Should God be gracious to us all and give us another opportunity, I'll be obliged, I'll be willing to speak again after we have rested this voice. And thank you for appreciating what I've done to you today. Somebody has asked me whether we can share the notes. This is my biggest weakness now. The greatest part of my speaking is never written. I write 3 or 4 lines. I have written 3 or 4 lines, which I can share with the organizers. But everything, 90% of what I have said will not be in the paper. And because I'm usually not very able to write my thoughts, I am very good at speaking my thoughts. Writing them, I am not, what do I say? I think I just speak. I just speak. So maybe next time you can tape. I don't know what you will do, but I'll give to Mary Muthoni my speaking lines. They are just bullets, 1 or 2, and then I usually fill them up as the program continues. So Albert, thank you. Sheila, everybody, thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you so much. And as you walk on your journey to become what you want to become in the area that you have chosen. It may not be public service, but the space that you have chosen for yourself, I am sure you will excel. And that's why you're on this platform today. So asanteni sana and have a really, really good meeting. Now, Rosemary, you can let me go.
Thank you very much. Yes, I can release you. I can release you this morning. We really would have wished to have you much, much longer. But yeah, please do rest your voice and have yourself a lovely day. It was wonderful having you, really wonderful having you. And on behalf of the participants, I will clap for you because they're not able to do so. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And yes, we will share the recording with you. We will share the recording of this conversation with you. We will also put together the notes that we have been able to capture so that then we have something written, something that someone can read. Good participants, we truly thank you for the time that you have taken to be with us. And allow me to apologize that my CEO is still held up in a meeting. He is not able, therefore, to join us this morning. He really wanted to do so. He called me earlier before the meeting started. He wanted to join you and have a conversation with us. Unfortunately, he's still held up in a meeting, the CEO jobs. And so let's continue having this conversation with ourselves. If you allow, then we can end in 2 or 3 minutes. But before we end, I see a lot of you repeating what we have had, meaning somebody took home something. Perhaps let's take 2 or 3 minutes. Let's type out, what is the one take home for us, each one of us? Type the take home that you have picked from this conversation. What is your take home? For instance, my take home is that a good brand lives in the hearts and minds of the people. And you cannot be everything to everybody. Type, what is your take home? Christine Momo, brand having your negotiables and non-negotiables, choose where I want to excel, develop the skill you want to be known for. Thank you, Anne. Yes, Grace. Don't choose many things, be specific. Yvonne, my image is how, yes, they're quite fast. A good brand, tell your story, how you want to be known. A good brand is compelling, thank you. Specialization, consistency, be deliberate and purposeful. Very, very well. So thank you so very much. We have had a lot of learnings. And we will share with you the recording. You can also find it on our YouTube channel, CPF YouTube channel. You'll find us there. We were live, so you will be able to find us there. We thank you so very, very much. And we wish to wish you a Merry Christmas. We may not be able to meet between now and next year. So we wish you a Merry Christmas and thank you very much for being with us this morning. Those that are still around, we can continue having our conversation. We were meant to remain until about 12 noon. We can still continue having our conversations. Thank you so very much, Mary. And I believe that before we close, Mary, you can have some final closing remarks. Mary Muthoni.
Thank you, Rosemary. And I want to really congratulate you for spearheading this department for the training for CPF Africa. And because we are going to do very many great things together, I want each one of the women and the few good men who have attended this forum today, I want you to take a notebook and write down why you are remarkable. Because if you want your business to be remarkable, then you must first be remarkable. You must first tell us why you deserve to be who you are. I'm not trying to brag, but I usually say when His Excellency the President or his team decides to give somebody an MBS or the small title I was given of Uzalendo Award, they have looked into every other aspect. So you as a businesswoman, what is it are you remarkable about? What can we write home about you and your business? I'll tell you something. When I started my school, Rosemary told you I'm an educationist. Sometimes, Rosemary, I can tell you, I even forget to market my products when I think about the women in business. I talk more about the women in business more than I talk about the St. Petroc Premier School in Embu. And when I started my school and I spent a whole month, a whole term, a whole year with one student, when I had put the state of the art, you know, the state of the art buildings and everything, including a swimming pool. Now,
you know, I was not looking for just any person. But one thing kept pulling me and pushing me and telling me, you know what? You're remarkable. And why was I remarkable? Because I had attempted something that nobody else had tried. Nobody else had tried. That is the first step of building a brand. Don't go copy pasting what everybody else, what every Dick and Harry is doing. When you hear somebody has gone to China, has brought in the latest shoes, and they have gone to Taveta Road, or is it River Road, and they're selling in millions, and you think you're gonna make it. Ladies, that is a wild goose chase. Don't copy paste. You are unique in your own way. And that is the one step of building a brand. A brand is unique. A brand is sustainable. A brand is what 4 points the PS has given us. I wish we could start building our brands in such a way that even when there's a pandemic that like COVID, that your brand still stands. During COVID, we ran to the bigger brands like Bidco Africa, and thanks to Vimal, because he accepted to help the women. Any woman who wished to start a business then, with as little as 10,000 shillings, they were able to start it with Bidco products, subsidized for only the women in business. But I am sure the ones who had not, they are still stuck there, thinking and saying, Mary Muthoni, sasa hata imekuwa Mary Muthoni, you know? So in one way or another, when we want to move far, when we want to walk far, we must be able to understand and identify what exactly that we want with ourselves. So Rosemary, with what we are doing with CPF Africa is a brand in itself. You've branded yourself that you're a trainer, you see? And there are many other departments. So why are we working with the training department and not any other? Because you have stood up and you have identified yourself. You have branded yourselves that you're the best trainers in the world, in the country. I want to encourage the ladies and gentlemen, the few good men who are here, if you would wish to have a separate training with CPF Africa, please register today, because they have millions, hundreds, tens of training opportunities that they have for entrepreneurs. Register today. We can even plan to train you in your own office. We will train you and your staff anywhere. We will train you plus others in a secluded place. By the way, CPF Africa, they have a hall which we can access for free. True, Rosemary? So when we want to be trained, even if you're told, please just pay for your lunch, pay 3,000 for your lunch. Why would you not pay, ladies? You see, Rosemary amejitolea leo, amesema branding is free. So when we want to say that pay a little so that you can get the same knowledge, that they can bring the same people to you, please appear. Ladies, this world is not our own. And at the same time, it is a world that we have to be specific on what we want to be. Let us be specific. Let us align ourselves with the right people. And the right people right now, whom I'm assigning myself with, is CPF Africa. Please go to their page, get to see what training opportunities are there. Register today. Kama sio sasa, ni sasa hivi. Rosemary.
Thank you so very, very much, Mary. Thank you, Asante Sana. I see a number of us have left, though a number of us are still remaining. And yes, we have a lot of training programs. Mary, thank you very much for the confidence. And yes, Victoria Hall at CPF House is available. Let us know what training you'd be interested in. We have a number of training programs at CPF Consulting. We have just come back from Dubai. We were in Dubai 2 weeks ago with directors of institutions discussing strategy and scenario planning. So you can imagine when COVID happened and many strategic plans kind of became irrelevant. So how do you develop scenarios for the survival of your business? How do you develop scenarios and carry everybody else to ensure that your business does not just survive, but it thrives even under difficult circumstances? We have programs on leadership. We have programs on managing performance. We have programs on workplace counseling. We have that because every institution must carry with it a healthy population in the name of the workers. If your workers are not healthy, then the wealth that you seek to create will not happen. It will not happen. We also have programs on managing records, electronic document management system. We have programs on did I say records management? Yes, I did. We have programs on customer service. We have programs on sales and marketing. And we have many, many other programs, including building trust and collaboration at the workplace, so that you can remove conflict and ensure that everybody is working towards the same goal. Most important, we have our signature program, managing the separation between you and the job that you do, including the business that you run, because at some point you will stop running it, because your body has told you you can no longer continue doing that. So how then do you separate yourself from that business so that the business survives and you also survive, you move on to do something else? We call that pre-retirement. We have many programs. We will share the write-up with Mary so that she can share that with you. And together, I believe we are able to help one another. In the absence of any other comment, ladies and gentlemen, allow us to bring this conversation to an end. We will continue perhaps on YouTube, perhaps on LinkedIn. We'll continue our conversations. Let us know on email anything else you'd like us to do for you. And
Rosemary, sorry for cutting you short, Rosie. I think we need to announce anybody who is interested in a training, they should leave their contact in the chat box right now.
Yes.
So
thank you very much.
Reach out to them. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very, very much, Mary. Yes. Yes, etiquette. This is Jane. We also train in etiquette. Perhaps we can have a conversation and see how together we can help each other. And those of us that are interested in any of our training programs, we have bespoke programs. We can package a program for you, leave your contacts with us. We will be able to reach out to you for that purpose. I wish to thank you most sincerely for taking your time to be with us. And as I said earlier, have yourselves a very, very Merry Christmas. And for this week, enjoy your week. May it be fruitful. May we create the brands that will outlive us, those brands that will outlive us for the benefit of our institutions. Thank you so very much. And we truly thank God that He has taken us through this program. Thank you very much.